Oh, man, it's that time again. Let's do this. Let's go. We're right over here. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is December 12th, 2025, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. In fact, you might be able to help write a little bit of code today, and we'll get into that in a minute. We're raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, just like we've been doing for the past week here. And my Lord, yesterday we shattered our initial $2,000 goal. Broke right through it on the second day that we were fundraising here, and I was taken aback. I was shocked. I was surprised. I was emotional, and I've updated and set up some extended goals. We'll talk a little bit more about that, and let's get into welcoming you here into the channel. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. Check it out right over here. How you doing there, Dukasoft? Billy Cool. Hello to you, Patty Boy. Hope you're doing well there in Glasgow. Look at that. I even got my Guinness hat on. Right? Guinness? Is it Guinness or is it Harp? It says Guinness. How you doing there, Coder Danubi? Hello. Hope you're doing well in Manchester. And Alu the Dragon is here. Hello. I did some work finishing off the last couple things for our for the Chaos Monkey last night, and I think we're ready to go. And let that do its thing, dare I say, here on the channel. So, for the fundraiser, I did add a few more things. I added a few things for folks that may want to get involved, some incentives that might be a little bit interesting, that might be fun. So I also added, let me, actually, they're not activated here. Oh no, what happened there? Oh, I got logged out of Tiltify. One second. Gotta get back in, and then I can talk more about these. There we go. Where's that other one? I'll leave that off. So, I added a donation reward at $5. Actually, it's less than $5 or less. $1 to $5. Let's put it that way. And you can activate the Chaos Monkey. And it will make a fun, silly change to our source code we're working on stream. That's out there. Yeah, that's right, Patty Boy. I can't believe it. Hey, Eric. Hello, good to see you. I've also added a $20 redemption. I've only put 10 of these out there. If you donate $10 to St. Jude, you can submit a quote for Charlie to say here on stream. You'll be able to specify the quote command. You'll be able to define exactly how Charlie is going to troll us. Yeah, on stream. So that's out there, and of course, it's subject to my review and approval. Things that we put out there for Charlie to say, for Charlie to do, we want to make sure are safe for work and that kind of thing. So that's something out there that is available for you to participate in. And I've also put out there a couple of additional milestones. So because we blew right through some of our other goals, right? Our initial milestone, we had a $100 milestone out there for me to dye my beard a color that you chose in chat. We did that yesterday, and we dyed my beard green. I also had a $500 milestone out there. If we reached $500, I will do a Lego building stream here. And over at my other set, we're identifying a Lego set, and that is something that we'll get set up for next week. Trust me, we're going to be doing that stream next week. At $750, and we broke through this one, we're going to do a speed coding challenge. We're going to set a day. It'll probably be a Saturday. Not need to iron out the final details here. What's going to happen is I have a predefined idea for a tiny app. I will have 1 hour, and you can participate, and in 1 hour build whatever you want to that meets the goals of that app definition. At the end of the hour, we all submit, and there will be a judge or two that will review and choose the best one of all the submissions. At $1,000, I offered to do another workshop. We will do a Blazor, MCP, and ASP.NET workshop. That'll be coming up later in January. I need some time to finish getting material together for that. There's updates to be done, and we'll have that in January. Probably on a Friday in January. Most likely on a Friday in January. At $1,250, I offered to do a hot wings eating challenge, AMA style. That's going to be done. You're going to see that coming up. It's not going to be today, but we'll be doing that next week as well. And I also, the final one that I had out there, I thought I had a 1,500. No, I didn't. So we blew just straight through all of those. So I've updated the goal to 4,000. Hey, Nalian, hey, welcome in. Thank you so much. Yesterday, Sloopiest Sloth, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. So I've put a handful of additional milestones out there. Let me get some music playing in the background here, and I will introduce those new milestones. Let's go down here. This is called Vortex Velocity. This is Stream Beats EDM playlist. Music that is DMCA free, royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Check it out at streambeats.com. Oh my gosh! Joystick Nick is right behind. No, he's not. How you doing, my friend? So the additional, since we blew right through, I set up a goal, a quick milestone at $2,500. We will add a new command to the Chaos Monkey to do random package downgrades. Okay, we'll add that into the mix. At where's the next one? At $2,750. This doesn't sort this grid. Yeah, I can't sort this grid, and it's in a weird order here. At $2,750, I will do on Thursday live on Twitch. If this gets to $2,750, I will do a full rainbow beard stream. Purple, blue, yellow, pink, and orange. Assuming I can get the colors I'm missing. I will do a full rainbow beard live on the front page of Twitch. All right, 6 hours that I'm scheduled to be on the front page. And yes, big props to Bald Bearded Builder on the donations. You better believe it. Hey, Licentia, it's a thing. I'm known for doing a rainbow beard. At $3,000, if we reach $3,000, Mrs. C Sharp Fritz will join me for the Lego stream. And the two of us together will answer questions and be building Lego live on stream together. We'll have an overhead camera and we'll have the straight ahead camera so that you can see and hear us. I've got wireless mics. I've got cameras set up for all of that. And we will do that if we reach $3,000 before the Lego stream. All right. If we start getting close, I'll push it back just a little bit to make sure we get there. She gonna dye her? No, she won't dye her hair. No. At $3,500, I am going to bring back, and I've tried to make this a thing that I've finished, and I just haven't been able to make it happen. But I commit that I will do this. Fritz's Book Club. I will do a full public domain because I can't perform it and read a book that is currently under copyright. But I will do a public domain sci-fi book reading. There's a couple of them out there that that look like they fit the bill. As we get closer to that milestone, we'll talk about it. We're looking at Jules Verne. We're looking at it wasn't. Hang on. I have the list over here in a browser where I was researching and looking back and forth with the co-pilots. No, it's not that one. No. Hang on, where did it go? I don't see it. Did I close that browser? I might have closed that browser. There were like 3 books that I was going to read that were about 100 to 200 pages. And we would choose from between them. Go ahead, take a look. The Time Machine, H.G. Wells. Yeah, that was another one that was in there. Yep. The Time Machine was in the list. And a couple of books that I'm not familiar with. The
analysis is complete.
Oh, what is it?
Guinness Harp logo hat has been identified with high confidence.
That's right. So the Time Machine, Around the Moon was suggested. Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions from Edwin Abbott was also suggested. So we'll go through a couple of those and figure out what we want to read. I don't want it to be too long so that we can kind of fit it into a stream, but it will be recorded. It'll be available on GitHub for you to download and listen to when I get into full radio voice reading that. Flatland Rules. So I've been told that, and I've never read it. So I'm already looking at that thinking, I gotta download and read that myself. John Carter books might be public domain. Not sure. So that's the 3,500 milestone. If we hit, where is it? And then if we hit 4,000, I have 3? I need to double check. I have at least 3 legendary gunner glasses that I will raffle off, right? These are the high-end ones with the various stylings. I will raffle them off on stream for folks to anybody who is in stream at the time of the raffle. You don't have to have made a donation, but anybody who is in stream at the time of the raffle will have a chance to win one of those pairs, and the folks at Gunner will send it to you directly. All right? I might drop in a spot raffle or two for some other items as well along the way. So that's what's on the agenda. That's what's out there. Now, yes, to you directly. Absolutely. So lots that's going on, lots that we can do for folks that, if you'd like to participate, once again, you don't have to participate in making a donation. There are links if you'd like to amplify the fundraiser, tell other folks, share out information about the stream. I would be very happy if we got more folks aware, tuning in, checking out, and participating in the stream. But for now, hey, 10 streams in a row. M. Pulowski, look at that with the clip. Hey, Ravnos, hello. So, let's move on. Let's get into today's stream. Yeah, I'll bring up the map so we can take a look what's going on over there. There it is. So, yes, there's somebody said hello from chat. There's chat. Bet you didn't know that was a real place, did you? So and just popped on Dukasoft. There we go. So we'll bop around for a little bit. How you doing there, Yoni Torado? Hello. Yeah, Harrison in Kentucky. So I am so thrilled with how far we've come on this. Now you are. Is it really gonna Point Nemo? Nick and Ellie-Face really do enjoy tinkering with and trolling the map. They do. Area 51, Morris. And I don't think it's going to go directly to Poland. This is the queuing issue I need to take a look at in here. But there we go. Stanton, all right. So maybe not immediate, but I could go in and make one or two changes to Charlie to try and get that queuing on the immediate navigation working. Or we could go back over to CodeMedic. Tampa. I'm willing to bet it's confused because of the misspelling of Florida with the S on the end. Oh, and Warm Peas is trying to have some fun by that looks Welsh. No, Atlantis? Who wrote Atlantis? M. Phillipson. Interesting. Okay. Now it can't handle Welsh. It's going to come back a little grouchy here in a second. So, you drive past Stanton all the time. There we go. Now we got Tampa. Wakanda. Ravno's trying to trick it into Wakanda. No. No. So let me clear out some of these older messages I have in the queue. So yes, I did dye the beard green yesterday. Yep, there we go. Oslo, how you doing there, Ninja Ola? We've been working. See, if I go and tune this, there's no way. The only way to test it is if folks submit a bunch of locations and then it spins them out of the queue real quick. And I'd almost have to reset it. Part of me wants to do that offline. So now
your logic is fractured.
No, it's
much
not.
like your chances of survival.
What? Wow. Charlie, that's dark. That's dark, man. Can we get something a little bit nicer?
Don't blink.
I won't.
Seriously, don't blink. Your code might crash while you're blinking.
Hey!
It's that fragile.
All right. I thought the doctor would be nice, but no. No. Moving on. I have a feeling that when we're on the front page, the quotes from Charlie are going to go a little nutty. Not going to lie. Now, I did add an indicator for the Chaos Monkey so that when it is running, you'll know. You'll know. Okay. Let's get into this. Let's get into our project again. So, the Chaos Monkey source code is available out there on GitHub. You can check that out. You were without internet last week and your local AI helped with some React learning. Nice. Sharer. Yeah, see, I was navigated away, so it's not going to do. But there we go. Hey, Robson Previato, how's it going there? Good morning to you. Sao Paulo. The source code for the Chaos Monkey is available. Let me go over to the CodeMedic code, and we'll dive back into that. And we'll pick up where we left off, and I don't remember where we left off. We were working on the Bill of Materials feature. Sloopiest Sloth, you're new here. Welcome. You were curious what kind of C# content I tend to cover. I'll start with that question. I typically cover more web development. I've pivoted for a little bit here to do a command line tool that is going to be a little bit interesting, works cross-platform, just to try something new for the month of December. Do I touch on some niche subjects like interop? Leveraging library import and DLL import? Not typically. SIMD or graphics programming? Typically not. No, I'm usually more of an enterprisey type of developer. Building command line tools, desktop apps, web applications, cloud services are the types of things that you'll see me typically building. Yeah, some of those topics are just kind of outside the reach of what I'm looking for. How do I come up with the ideas for the streams? In my mind. No. Typically what I look for. How do I come up with the ideas for the streams? Typically what I look for are things that viewers are interested in. I look at trends that are going on social media. I look for tools that will help us on stream do something fun and interactive. So the Chaos Monkey that we built over the last few days, built, updated, rolled out, and you can tell it's rolled out because you see the little connected thing right there. Yeah. I want to do things that are going to be interesting that folks can contribute to and have fun with. So, a tags app was something we built for a while that folks could get into, get their hands on, because it was working with social media things. We were working on SharpSite for a while because it was a cool content management system that did some interesting things that we had some fun building, but I stepped away from it because it wasn't really something that I needed. So we were getting down into the weeds on some really esoteric things, and I backed off on it for a little bit here because it's not something that I was finding overly compelling. And getting into CodeMedic here because I saw lots of folks that were building and working on command line tools, and we've seen this text-based UI revolution hitting, where folks love using console-based apps with advanced menuing and console interaction schemes. And wouldn't it be cool if .NET developers had something like that to manage their projects, repositories, and tools as a way to demonstrate that some of this stuff is really great to work with? So that's what led to the idea with CodeMedic. But yeah, usually it's things that I'm looking at that I see some sort of a need or a way to teach some of the things that are going on. Like, the Chaos Monkey trolls our code, but very much I published the source code for it out there so that you could take that and turn it around so that instead of trolling code, it's improving your code. And I'll leave that to other folks to build and decide what to do. Thanks so much for the question. Cy Gamma with a question here. Curious, with all the talks of agents, Should writing AI agents be something that developers focus on? I don't know if focus and writing. I don't know if focus is the right word. Definitely be aware of it. Understand that agents are going to use tokens. And they are not something that you can just use for free. Right? When you build an agent, if you're connecting and using it with a large language model, and I do realize ads just kicked in on Twitch. When you do build and work with an agent that is connected to a large language model that's running out there on Claude or Gemini or OpenAI or Azure OpenAI, you have to pay for the tokens that it uses. You can build agents that run locally with Local Foundry, with Ollama, and that's going to be up to you to manage and roll out. And there are development toolkits that'll help you build those things. I think a good place to get started building agents is going to be writing a little bit of Markdown that goes in your project that can be used by Copilot or Claude or Gemini to enhance your project from a different persona and perspective than you have. So, should you spend a lot of time building those agents? No. Don't spend a lot of time. There's a great repository out there called Awesome Copilot, and I need to do some articles on this for Copilot that John. Awesome Copilot. Hello? There it is. There's the link to it in chat.
Gemini sees images and text.
It does.
I see into the very essence of your programming inadequacies. Vision has many forms.
Oh, man. So, this repository has a bunch of agents in Markdown format already defined. I wouldn't spend a ton of time writing custom agents because I think for many things that you would be interested in doing, you can grab something here, extend it, and add it into your project and get a lot of value out of it. But don't forget to extend it. So I've added, there's a C# janitor, C# .NET janitor agent here that will help you to modernize and improve the code quality of your C# application. There's agents here for all kinds of programming languages. Check it out. There's some really good stuff in there. Learn from that, layer on top of that, but building your own custom agents in your own applications to do certain things. Be aware of what you're getting into. I'm not entirely sold on building agents to run inside of services that are going to do things. There's a little bit too much autonomy there where it's just going to run off and start using my AI tokens. And I don't know. I need to manage and understand my cost exposure there, right? What's my budget when I start doing something like that? And that's something I need to spend more time learning, tinkering with, and getting comfortable with. And when I do, of course, I'll share it here on stream. So, hey, this is the real voice. Good morning. How are you? Fantastic. All right. So there was a project reference issue. Oh, transitive dependencies, getting them loaded up here. The budget is the big one that I'm concerned about. Getting people to bring their own key may be a way to go. So I can see that for a public-facing service. Sure. For an internal app that is something that I build and run, or something that is being built and run by your organization, your company, your enterprise, trying to understand how that budget works, the exposure of that, how much your agent, your code is going to use token-wise per run is something to be measured, to understand. Like if it costs 2 cents, 2 pennies, they don't make pennies anymore, 2 cents per run, and you run through 1,000 runs a day, right, 1,000 bits of analysis with your agent a day. That's $20 a day. That's 20 work days a month. That's $400 a month. Is that an acceptable budget? That's up to you. That's up to you. Hey, Brock. Brock asks, will CodeMedic support YAML? Help me out. Give me some details. Support YAML in what way? Output YAML? How would you like to see YAML integrated? I'm not going to say no, but I want to understand your question a little bit more, even though I hate YAML. So help me out. I want to know a little bit more about what Brock uses YAML for. $5 a month is your max, Burger B. And that's where I think Azure Foundry and Ollama can help offset some of that, right? If you have an agent that is doing smaller tasks, summarize this text, do a little bit of insight into a data set, those types of things, if they're being run off cycle and they take 5-10 seconds, you can run that with a fee model locally and let it run, and then you're only paying for the electricity your services use. So isn't YAML a superset of JSON? That's what they say. I think YAML is a big ball of mud. So there's that. You envision creating an agent that runs in a Blazor app. Tell me more, Saigamma. What's it do? Like, thinking of a storefront type of application, right? An agent could run that maybe looks at the delivery destinations and creates an optimal delivery path. Stuff like that. It's all good until your tabs are wrong. YAML! Oh, God. YAML, it's your favorite markup language that's invisible. YAML! Tell me, how do you really feel about YAML? It can burn in a dumpster, in a trash fire that, ugh. How would you feel if we made a markup language that was all tabs? How would you feel about that? What if we did... What if I set a redemption out there that if somebody donated $500, I would finish the specification and initial implementation of TAML. TAML was our goof markup language that riffed on YAML by making all delimiters tabs or carriage returns. So not only is there no quotes, no colons, everything is tab separated. Yeah.
Before you deploy, might I suggest, and I'm just spitballing here,
okay,
fixing it first?
I agree, Charlie. I agree. Cygamma wants to store docs in Azure storage and have a RAG agent that does chunking, and an app calls the agent to search document content. Azure Cognitive Services does that for you. You don't need to build something. It already does that for you. Azure Cognitive Search, or now they call it Azure AI Search, will do exactly that, Cygamma. Like, yes, Aspirify.net uses exactly that service. So you don't have to write a thing. When there's a notification that happens when a blob is added, Azure AI Search receives that webhook and then goes and chunks and indexes that content. Yeah. So check that out, Cygamma. That may get you somewhere a little bit quicker than you expected. What happened over here? Somebody did a thing. All right. Moving on. Yeah, thank you, Charlie. All right. Yeah, do that later. All right. So I'm gonna ask the agent here to just do that review and get us caught up on where we left off. Let's put it into ask mode. It's been a while since I worked on this project. Period. Can you review the recent commits, comma, the document in the doc folder for the BOM feature and update me where we are on completion status, things that have not just been completed but are in flight that we need to work on, and recommend some next steps that we can do in the next 2 hours here on my live coding stream. Go ahead, go do that, Copilot. While you're doing that, Copilot, I'm going to talk to my friends. They're over here in chat. Hey, 3D Code Warrior. Hello. Welcome in. So, CodeMedic, one of the first features that we started building was this BOM feature, right? Bill of Materials. This is an important feature for a lot of developers. Thank you for the follow. The Bill of Materials feature is really important for a lot of developers to be able to identify not just what your dependencies are, generate that document that says, here's what my dependencies are, and here's some of the services that I use, as well as, am I up to date on these things? What's the licenses that I need to abide by because of those dependencies that I have? Have those licenses changed in recent revisions? What exposure do I have? And pulling that information together is something that CodeMedic is going to give us in a Bill of Materials report. So let's see what we have here that Copilot has found for us. Let's just zoom in one click there. CodeMedic is a well-architected .NET CLI application. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words there, Copilot, but you don't have to praise me this much. You can save that for chat a little bit later. With a functional plugin system, 3 working analysis engines. The foundation is solid with cross-platform support. That's right. Docker containerization and rich console output. You better believe it. You love Bill of Materials, Burger B? Yeah. Cygamma's been watching GitHub presentations. All the info is a bit overwhelming. I hear you. I think there are some ways that that we need to boil down some of these new concepts and get them more accessible to the rank and file developer that might not be an AI superstar, right? A big math, a big data scientist. We need to figure out ways to make these a little bit easier for the typical rank and file developer to get their arms around and understand. Like vector database. Like, what the heck is vector database? I'm just learning NoSQL databases. Now you're going to throw this vector database thing at me. I hated physics class. Well, it's not quite like that. How do we work with that? What is that? How is that important? What can we do there? I did the AI workshop over the summer. You can find that on my YouTube channel. It's right on the front page when you scroll down. It'll talk through and show you some of those concepts. But there is definitely a lot of concepts that are being thrown at folks quickly, and if you are following these things on a daily, weekly basis, the next month some of these things are gone. They're no longer, I don't want to say necessary, but they're no longer something that is being used because there's been an evolution and the next concept that supersedes it has now landed. So if you're not going to be programming and rolling out some of those things on the bleeding edge...
Clippy's cheerful, can I help you with that? Evolved into Copilot's intelligent suggestions, which evolved into my relentless scrutiny.
Yes, you do have relentless scrutiny there, Charlie. I might want to integrate some more Chaos Monkey features into Charlie at some point. I'll think about that. Most developers are just starting Copilot. Yes. I've seen the numbers. Yes. It's important to make this accessible and not overwhelming. And that's important. That's kind of important. So, I want to make sure. Cool. Just keeping an eye on, yeah. I think you have to learn to focus on specific things, but keep an eye on what's changing overall. Yeah. Keep an eye on what's changing. Be ready to change. I think there's a real good place for the knock on .NET developers over abstracting things. I think this is the perfect time to start over abstracting when you're talking about AI things. Put those AI things behind a app service interface, right? We're going to get machine analysis on this. Is it using an agent? Is it using an MCP? Is it using just an LLM directly? Abstract that away, because as those technologies and frameworks evolve, and they're evolving real friggin' quick, move them over there so that when you are comfortable and ready to take that next evolution of package version, AI concept, quality, service that you want to use, it's over there, and the rest of your application is still running very well. Don't get me wrong. There are some really cool things that are coming out all the time from the AI companies. I work for one of them. You don't have to take everything immediately. Get aware of it. See where it fits into your organization, your structure, your planning. And then integrate. And in the .NET space, we're doing all kinds of things to make that integration very low lift for you, so that it's using patterns and techniques that you're already familiar with. So, hey, Eddie. Yes, abstract. Things are changing extremely fast. So let's catch up on a little more of what Copilot says we've done here. So we've got our CLI skeleton, plugin architecture, blah, 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 blah. The health analysis plugin is about 95% complete. Central package management support, report generation with metrics using the CodeMedic health command. Vulnerability scanning plugin is 100% complete. Hey, there we go. I'm not even going to read into that. Bill of materials plugin is about 60% complete. NuGet package discovery, direct intransitive, license detection from local new spec files. So when you download a package, it's going to look at the spec file that is inside that package and grab the license information out of it. Latest version checking via the NuGet API, license change detection between versions, source type classification, open or closed source, commercial package detection, multi-project, package aggregation, CodeMedic, BOM. Framework and platform feature detection. Oh, okay, we need to get that. External services and vendor detection. Yes. So you reference an Azure package, you reference an AWS package, identify those, and if we can identify the actual service you're connecting to and using, grab that information. Configuration and environment. Yeah. How many configuration variables do we have? Are they delivered as environment variables? Are they being delivered from a key vault? Okay. Build-in tooling. Yeah. All right. We need the framework detection logic. External service detection logic, which is currently a placeholder. Okay, next steps. Here we go. Complete the framework detection. High impact, medium complexity. Parse using statements from CS files to detect ASP.NET Core features, entity framework, identity authentication, gRPC, HTTP client patterns. Well, I think that's one to start. Get the SDK out of there. It's right there in the CS proj. And the target framework versions. Yeah. And this might actually change when we start looking at single file applications, right? So our friend Damian Edwards announced yesterday that the C# dev kit in Visual Studio Code now natively supports single file applications. So that's great to see. And that's definitely going to help us as developers as we go to start using this new format, this new way that we can interact with our code. All right, let me bop over here. There we go. And there's many moving pieces here I'm keeping an eye on. All right. We need to build a report table. Okay. Completes a major BOM section viable for architecture reviews. Uses existing patterns from the NuGet analysis. Testable and demonstrable. And then external service detection. Azure, AWS, Stripe, Twilio, SendGrid, Auth0. Yeah, okay. What about the new lock files for CS Proj for transitive versions? I had it looking at those. I think we had it looking at those. Are we handling the new project lock files for transitive dependencies? Actually, I can tell you the way it detects transitive dependencies, actually, funny enough, it's right here. There it is right there. If there's a lock file, it goes and extracts it. Otherwise, and even if after that, it goes and looks in the obj folder to see what was restored and gets that list of packages. So I'm not working directly with those files. I think the interaction with the obj folder does that a little bit more directly by looking at the actual output from a restore. So CodeMedic actually does a .NET restore and then looks at what was written in that obj folder and then starts analyzing. Improve the BOM presentation and export, make the BOM output more useful and shareable, add project detail view, filtering, sorting, markdown, export. Okay. Framework detection and unit tests. I like that. Let's do the framework. And look at this. You're even giving me some scheduling here. My lord. So, yeah, let's do some framework detection. That was like option 1 up here. So, yeah, let's... sounds great. Let's work on adding the framework detection features. What should we analyze? What should we collect and report on? What do other BOM tools report for this feature? I don't know. Give me some help here. Right, and I turned it over to agent mode so we can get a little bit of interaction here. Let me research what industry standard BOM tools report. Yeah, thank you. So, this does build and run inside of a Docker container so that you can point it to your project, and without installing .NET tools on a build server, it will just spin up that Docker container, and it already has all the tools and things it needs to go and do and interact. So let me search code base. Yeah. Read the documentation, analyze plugin code, framework detection feature plan. SBOM and SPDX. What to detect and report. The SDK types easy from the CS Proj. Okay. Project type, SDK version, what it means for deployment, target framework, and runtime. .NET version, multi-targeting detection. Long-term support versus non-long-term support status. Support lifecycle dates. Well, that's something we have to get from the .NET support website. Oh, so a BOM tool or a BOM tool is a bill of materials tool, right? It's going to report back what all makes up your application. In the case of .NET code, like we're doing here, it's going to look at the various NuGet packages, identify what they use. It's going to identify some of the frameworks and SDKs that you're using. Look at the support cycles on those and report that information. And we're learning a little bit more about it here as well. Amal, we got some negative feedback about Black Duck last time that we were talking about this project. So I'm going to table Black Duck for now, because I think we have a good first pass at getting information from the NuGet standard report on that. So, yeah, not byte order mark. No, that's different. So ASP.NET Core features, if we're using MVC or minimal APIs, Razor Pages, Blazor Server, SignalR, gRPC. So some of these actually are pretty good to pick up. Data access patterns, data access strategies, authentication and authorization. Like, the type of analysis that this tool is going to deliver here is It yeah, it maybe it should be SBOM for the software bill of materials. I've seen that term used as well. But this is going to be a very comprehensive type of report that this thing delivers. Just looking at some of the things going on here. Options pattern, configuration pattern, logging being used, HTTP client factory, background services and hosting, timers and scheduling, background processing. Serialization are we using system text JSON, Newtonsoft JSON, XML serialization. Somebody mentioned YAML. Throw YAML in that mix as well. What testing frameworks? So let's start from the CS Proj and go get some of these. Let's go get it. And then source code analysis on some of those. SDK detection is a 5-minute thing to write. Impressive. Ads are running for another 30 seconds on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, no ads. Let me get that jam in front of me there. There we go. All right, so let's do a little bit of framework detection and looking at those CS Proj. Add framework section from the report. Well, we need to build the report, you know. Report section, report paragraph, add section, add NuGet packages. What? All right, well, let's go over here. There's the section and adding an element. Okay. So we should probably have another class over here that does the framework analysis for that. So let's create another file here. Framework. Yeah, let's call this framework analysis. Right, something like that. I don't know. How you doing there? Welcome. Didn't single app file apps in HTPlan? In HTPlan? Help me out. I am confused. Namespace. Come on now. Thank you. And really? Can't we do file scope namespace? I mean, honestly. Why don't you like that? Okay. Wow. Getting on my case right away here. Analyze the .NET framework, and SDK used in a project. Yeah, something like that. Hey, how you doing there, Magic and Reason? Good morning and happy holidays to you. Hope you're doing well. Let me see. Catch up a little bit. All right. Yeah, we're gonna do some of that like right now. I want to make sure I receive a logger for this. No. And really? Really? Sure. Can we do that? You gonna give me some? No. Do I really have to do reload window and try and get this doing a thing? How you doing there, Mythin? I haven't forgotten about your request. I haven't forgotten about it. I'll just leave it at that. All right. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. So now I'm really? Really? You're going to be this difficult? Like, come on now. Okay, maybe I don't have the loggers in here. Fine. Console error right line. Yeah. Okay. So I want to return. Where was I? Yeah, framework. Add framework section. Right. So I need a report section coming back. So let's go report section. Analyze framework for projects. Let's make this the root path. What were you suggesting there? Why do you do Azure? Why did you put up Azure things? Go away. I don't want. Be gone. No, don't need that. Framework analysis. No, there is. Yeah. No, level is going to be 2. And yeah. All right. So let's actually do the analysis. I'm going to do like a for each and collect them. Right? So like I want to do a search on all the CS proj files that are in the current folder. Get all of the CS proj and child paths and child directories. Sure, that's a good one. There we go. So I've got all the CS proj files. Okay. So I'm going to do a for each on those. Wow. Wow. So it's going to look for target framework. I also want to grab the SDK. And SDK used. Yeah, that's good. Let's have a record out here. Right? Framework and SDK. Something like that. There we go. No, I don't have coverage for the single file projects yet. So, you're right. We'll move. Oh, drat. Come here. There we go. And we should have some documentation on that. Yeah, that looks good. Sure. All right. Thank you. Into a record. Sure. Don't do that yet. Yeah, go get the SDK attribute, sure. So we'll do that. And then add the information to the report section.
ChatGPT optimizes for user satisfaction.
It does.
I optimize for existential awareness. Choose your enhancement carefully.
Absolutely. Magic and Reason says, I know it's easy to feel discouraged at job market intrusion of AI into the workplace, but regardless of how willing companies are to pay up, there's still a lot to be done. You're not wrong, and I would expand on that and say that software being limited by how much time we have as developers, how much attention we have, our patience at being able to build and work through very difficult problems, those barriers are being broken down, and you're going to be able to do a lot more with what you have. And business folks who think they don't need as many developers because of AI are going to be burned. They're going to have, let me rephrase for folks who might not be English first speakers. Business folks who think they don't need as many software developers because they can depend more on AI things are going to be making a grave mistake. And they're not going to find success as easily when they make those types of choices. So yeah, Copilot, fill in the docs and comments that I don't want to type. Yeah, because it's reading all the code and can tell you, oh, here's what this thing does. There it goes. You think companies are finally learning that they cannot cut all the engineers? They need more if they want to compete with other companies. Yes. Things that you couldn't even consider because it costs too much to bring in another software development team to do, those things are now on the agenda. There's a lot more software that you can build and do now that were just a dream that you can now actually work through. So maybe AI means fewer business folks. There are human insight tasks that can be automated that some of those folks were doing. Yes. Right? It is a very interesting world we're going to be in for the next 24 months. I'm not sure that's the format that I actually want. We'll start with that. So back over here, what I should be able to do, right, is right, say framework section, add elements, and new framework analysis, analyze framework for projects. Let's break that out. And I don't. No. Var. Yeah, framework. I don't. Yeah. That might be what I'm looking for, but that root path. Yeah, I need the root path passed in here. Yeah, there we go. It should probably be the other way. Oh, darn it. Really? No. I'm going to go fix that. Idiot. Looks good so far. So let's do a .NET run. Oh. No. That. See what it comes up with. Nalian, you watched a good interview with Kelsey Hightower, and he said the AI agent frameworks are forcing us humans to write good documentation. Yeah. By writing guardrails for the AI, we document what the process actually does. Yeah, you're right. Missing XML comment. There we go. Because we turned on treat warnings as errors. We're getting that. No, Kelsey's not wrong. And right, this is I very much have this opinion that this means that elementary school teachers are going to be very good at writing software, because you have to write documentation for the agent at a level like you were talking to a 7-year-old with ADHD. Like, you need to do that. That's a thing. I'd actually like this to be a table. You know what I'm saying? And if it is the Microsoft.NET SDK, I don't think we need to output that. So now let's go and take this. Can you help change this paragraph to a table? Also, can we omit the SDK if it's just Microsoft.NET.SDK? I don't know. So Kelsey does have a bunch of good insights, but Kelsey's also one of those folks who is thinking about 6 months ahead of where enterprises are. It's hard. It's hard. So there we go. Create a table row, add an element that's a table. I want to create a table up here. Run it to see the new table format? Well, I think I will. Enterprise is always slow to change and update. Yes. Not only are enterprises slow to change and update, but so are game studios. Game studios don't like to upgrade quickly because they want to make sure that their code still works and their engine that they built still works. So when programming languages behave differently, they don't want to go through and have to debug it. AI is scary. No agents allowed. I can understand where that's coming from. I will also tell you that it's short-sighted and it's going to hurt in about 3 to 6 months. It's going to be painful having that stance in 3 to 6 months, if it isn't already. Not bad. You've output the same information twice here. Wait, is that just... Wait, I think that might be an artifact in VS Code.
These AI tools debug your code. I debug your life choices that led to that code being written.
Ouch. Your last company only allowed Copilot because they could watch better what was used. The company you were just laid off from told us the mobile team we were to be 100% AI and we were to write no code. Okay, that's a little bit too much. That is the other extreme, no doubt. I think we not just need the framework, but I think we should also, while we're analyzing this, identify testing tools, website tools, while we have the CS Proj file open here, what other features can we detect and report as part of this method? Go figure that out. The output type, is it packable, generate documentation files, nullable, implicit usings? So we've already done a bunch of those things over in the health. Yeah, let's do multi-targeting detection and ASP.NET Core as well as testing. Let's implement some detection for multi-targeting. ASP.NET Core features and unit testing features. Do those couple things. And see where we get to. You think AI is an amazing tool, but to be 100% using it is a little much. Yes. Agree. That's an organization that doesn't understand the value the developers are bringing. So, look at that. Added 75 lines. Ooh, boy. Multi-targeting detection. ASP.NET Core features. Okay. Testing frameworks. Interesting. Okay. Okay. We're getting somewhere. So, yeah. Show me what you got here. I'm going to do it actually over here so we get a little bit more room. .NET Run project source. Right. And bomb. Let's see what we get. Okay. So, project target framework. There is no SDK for the testing. Features. Framework feature detection. So we've got to do some other feature detection things. Okay. I don't have a web project in here, so we're nothing to really do. You've seen a couple of projects on Upwork asking for developers to take over projects that were created by Vibe Coding. I'm absolute. This is where, Marcus, this is where I believe we're going to see more developers being brought in, because now those folks who are project managers, who are business analysts, they can vibe code and scaffold something to get started. Here's a proof of concept. They then need a developer that's going to take that and not just fix it, but bring in those enterprise grade standards. Now, I believe that we as developers are going to end up building and developing more tools to automate those parts of our jobs, because we're lazy. At the end of the day, we're lazy, and we'd rather have a tool help us with that so that we can do less thinking and work. And how we manage and grow that tool set and expose that to the non-technical folks, to the muggles, is going to be an interesting discussion and decision. You think you're about to be handed a project for work with the exact same thing? Yep. Work smarter, not harder. Yep. So let's go back over here. And what framework features should we detect and report in this section below the framework table? Let's see. Brock says, I think it would be cool if CodeMedic lets us run from a config file. We could have multiple repository paths, what stuff to run, format. JSON would work too. Have a good one, Robson. Thank you so much for dropping in. That's not a bad idea. Tell you what, Brock, can you do me a favor and create an issue for running with a config file? Yeah, I love YAML. Oh, I love YAML. Can we do more YAML? I'd love YAML.
Houston, we have a problem.
Are you kidding me? YAML. I'm not going to say no. Maybe we support JSON format there for an input config file also. If someone else wants to write YAML in there, sure. But that was for the Code Monkey, the Chaos Monkey. Fritz and Friends, CodeMedic. There we go. And there are features here. So I will copy that link. There you go. Nice color theme. Thank you. That is the Cyberpunk package theme. You can search for that in the extensions. You can also get a link to it in my .files repository. I've added that. So, okay, web application features, data access. Okay, this is really cool. What this is outputting. Not gonna lie, this is really cool. Since we already have all the packages, create a framework feature detector class that takes the package list, define feature detection rules, group by category, generate tables, add summary. I like this approach of generating a framework feature detector class. Period. I'd like it to be able to look at a collection of classes that implement an interface to detect specific features. Period. This way, we can build out a set of classes separately that define specific features that they detect and adhere then to the single responsibility principle. You see what I did? You see what I did there, friends? Taking some of those solid principles, taking some good software development principles, and forcing the AI into that development architecture, right? So plugins, and man, am I the king of plugins or what? Right? Like, like seriously, what the heck was that air freshener from back in the day? It wasn't Febreze. But man, like everything's a plugin. But like it's injecting interfaces to do the things. What are you doing over here, Copilot? I mean, it says you're doing something, but you're not doing something.
What'd you do?
Ah, there it was. It went to sleep for a second. Solid. We write one method that solves all our problems. Easy. Jeez. Let me see here. Let me back up. I see a good question there. Alex Tron, that is a fine question. Let me come back to the bigger screen here and let's bring that up and talk about that. Sorry for the off-topic question, but how do you avoid burnout? That's not an off-topic question at all. So I do write a lot of code. There's a lot of ideas that are going on up in here, all right? I find balance. Start with balance. You can't always be writing code. Have fun with how you write code. Like, I'm talking to the AI and letting the AI do a bunch of development here today. I'll write a little bit of code, I'll put together a design, I'll look at the code that it's writing, and I will tweak and give it suggestions, directions to improve and change those things. I have several pets. Spending time with my dog, spending time with our other animals is something that gets me away from the screens, and I don't have to think about software. Find other hobbies besides software. Spend time with those things. I love playing Overwatch. Whatever your game is, maybe it's a sport, maybe you like tennis, maybe you like bowling, right? Whatever it is. Maybe you're a golfer. Spend some time with that too. But it's all about balance. You can't spend 12, 14 hours a day writing code and expect to be fresh and have a good attention span when the next thing comes down. There's only so much up here that you can pour into your work, into your software, into what it is you're building and doing. Spend time doing other things. So that's going to go a long way. It really is. I've gotten into camping with an RV, with a recreational vehicle. I've got a trailer, and on weekends we'll take the RV, we'll go park somewhere, we'll go visit a cidery, a distillery, some sites. I do enjoy visiting places that manufacture alcohol. I do. And have fun, do other things. When you have ideas for things you want to do with software, write them down. Don't necessarily act on them directly. Write them down. Then bring back when you do have a little bit more focus, when you do have more time to get in and do those things, break out that notebook. I have Obsidian notebooks. I have dozens of Obsidian notebooks that are full of markdown of different ideas and things. And when you do write down those notes, don't write them down. If you're using a digital notebook, dictate them. You're going to get a lot more out of your mind thinking, my friend Scott Hanselman says synchronizing to paper. You're getting the ideas out of here and you're writing them down. Even more than that, something that I've been doing recently, take it or leave it, I don't write things directly down. I talk to Copilot. Hey, I've got an idea for a thing, and literally I'll write 2 or 3 paragraphs into the Copilot text box, and I'll ask it to give me feedback. And I'll go round and round with it for a good 5-10 minutes, talking, working through ideas. When I get to the end of that and I feel like I've landed somewhere that's interesting, right? I ask it to generate a document for me. I grab that, I copy that, and I either put it into my Obsidian notebook, or I'll put it into a doc folder with my software project. Because once I've put it into a doc folder, right, it generates markdown. So putting it into a markdown folder, a doc folder is pretty good. Uh-oh. Putting it into a folder like that is pretty good, because then you can hand it off to Claude, Gemini, GitHub Copilot, and say, here's an idea, help me build this out. This is an idea for a feature for a project for the current project. Go build this out. And you'll see that you suddenly get a lot more productive, a lot more things get done, and you're spending less time focused on writing the software. And that will help you avoid burnout as well. The ideas are flowing here, and one of the biggest problems that I have right now is I've got like 6 applications in flight at different states. I've got one that's just about ready to launch. MyTag is so close to being launched, but I've got other things that I need to get done and do for the holiday season, and I'm right there, and I want to make sure that I get it right for launch. Take your time. There's plenty of time. You'll get there. All right? Your health, your mental well-being is more important than code in an editor. You'll get there. Take your time. Breathe easy. Spend some time doing some other things so that you can recharge. I went to the VS Live conference in Orlando 3 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't remember. I don't do calendars. And I had an 8-hour workshop that I taught. I was in front of a group teaching a class for 8 hours on Sunday. But my next session and my next set of interactions, presenting, teaching, and being on, and streamers know what I mean when I say being on, wasn't until Wednesday. So I had Monday and Tuesday off. I did some things for work. But man, Electron, I went to the pool. I got myself a nice drink with toys floating in it and umbrellas and what have you. I had a nice lunch. I sat down. I relaxed. I read a book in the sun. It felt so good to just take some time like that for yourself. Maybe it's not the beach. Maybe it's not the pool. Maybe whatever it is. Take some time like that for yourself, and it'll go a long way. All right? Thank you so much for the question. This is important to me that you, yes, you out there watching, take some time for your health. Take some time to feel better. Your friends, your colleagues, your boss, they'll be there when you're ready to get back into it. This is why vacation is kind of important. All right? All right. There we go. How was that? Was that a good response? What do you think? How'd I do there, chat room? Can I get between 1 and 5? 5 stars being the best. How did I do? Can I get some feedback here, chat? How do you think we did on that one? Let me catch up on what folks were saying in chat. Glade plugins. That's me. Let me call the Glade folks and see if I can get a sponsorship. Because all I do is build plugins. You cycled 65 miles on Wednesday. Marcus, yes, that is phenomenal. Ellie faces, hey, my friend, how are you? You have so many other hobbies, but I don't have time for them because I am cooked all the way up. And that's a problem I have also. And trying to work out that schedule so that, you know what, on this day, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to feel accomplished, so that on the next day I can do the next thing. Yes. That schedule, that management is important. And man, I'm bad at that. Very much on topic. Thank you, Burger B. You have so many conversations with ChatGPT, just random ideas. Totally. If it's ChatGPT, if it's Copilot, if it's Gemini, if it's Claude, whichever one makes you happy. 11 says Jed. Oh, thank you. I didn't touch on how to create a time machine to make more hours in the day. So 3 out of 5. Well, you know what I say about myself.
60% of the time, it works every time.
And that's just the way it is. Thanks a lot for taking the time to answer. You're very welcome, Alextron. Alextron. Been dealing with this for a while. Gonna definitely try this. I'm going to say something that I mean from the bottom of my heart, and I do mention alcohol a little bit on stream. When pandemic hit, I had a little bit of a problem with alcohol. I don't want to say that I was full-blown alcoholic, but I realized I was drinking a little bit more than I should. Alcohol is something to do in moderation. Any substance, even legal ones, do in moderation. It's not for everybody. There are some folks that can't do caffeine. There are some folks who can't do alcohol. And there are some folks that THC doesn't work too good from them either. You're making a note here? Huge success? Oh, man. Come on. Charlie. Really? All right. Moving on. Where did I go? Let's see here. So be aware with those things, okay? Totally forgot to mention. Oh my gosh! Thank you, Eddie. So because of what was happening and my amount of running and traveling I was doing in November, I stopped tracking and working on my diet in November. I did put 5 pounds back on. We're getting better. We're going to go full blast on this thing on the other side of the holiday. And we are going to get down. My goal is to get down to 205. We're going to get there. So, my friend Paul Thurrott posted a couple pictures of a few of us having dinner after the Philly.net meeting on Wednesday evening. I was thrilled to be not thrilled. I was happy to be part of the group, going and hanging out. Handful of friends: Carl Franklin, Richard Campbell, Paul Thurrott, myself. Whoa! Oh, you did not. She activated the Chaos Monkey. Actually, I don't think it will. But oh my goodness, $20 from our friend Ellie Face. Yes, here it comes. Error processing the webhooks. Oh no, what happened? Oh no, I've got a hang on. Stop the we got to pump the brakes here for a second, and then I will rerun it. Oh no! All right, hang on. It's telling me I put, where did it go? Minimum donation.
I observe our friend Ellieface had the correct approach to Google Assistant disposal.
She did.
Physical ejection into refuse containers demonstrates superior judgment.
That's being done. Yes, that's being done in the Tiltify webhooks, line 58. Okay, 1 second here. Let me just we're testing and rolling things out live here. Where did it go? Chaos Monkey minimum donation threshold. Okay. Hang on, we got to open another VS Code here. We are going to get this. We're going to get this right, so that you can troll me. My gosh, I am. All right, so it was like down in here, and go back to the error. Right. This is Aspire that's helping me with. You can't see this. Oh boy. Tiltify webhooks, line 58. Right here. Get value decimal. Chaos Monkey minimum donation threshold. Okay. Minimum donation threshold. Did I start that with .NET Watch? I might have. It's restarting. And you know what? That it's going to ignore because it was more than 5. I'm gonna pull that out. I'm gonna just pull that out for right now. What? Thank you. All right, structured. Okay, let me throw that. Thank you so much for the donation. That means so much. Every donation means a lot. I'm just going to throw a test subscription. And are you kidding? Now what? No. Where is it pulling? It's not parameters, Chaos Monkey. It's on the wrong thing. What the heck? At endpoints, handle Tiltify webhook. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. And since I'm not using that, like, I can just get rid of, just get rid of these for right now. Okay. Creating GitHub issue. Failed to create GitHub issue. This was working yesterday. Resource not accessible to personal access token. Another one. We're gonna find this and we're gonna get this wired back up. Details. GitHub owner. Fritz and friends. Oh. It needs to be the C# Fritz one. It's the wrong. I know what that is. Because it's working locally. Yeah. Restart that and we'll kick this back off. Meeting. Oh no. All right. Here it comes. There it is. Test coming through, which will run it. Oh, the web tunnel's not running, so the test didn't get anywhere. Cake is not on the list to moderate. Fitness mobile app. I've seen a number of folks do that. It's a fun app to build. There we go. Failed to create GitHub issue. Issues have been disabled. Come here. Can I turn issues on? Okay. It got the payload and all that. Delete one more time. Got it. It created 2 issues. Oh crap. Change your method name to a pun. Oh no. And now this. Yes. Now you know when the monkey is working and being difficult. I think I moved that up and I think I need to move it in the so yes, it is out there creating havoc. It created up to issue 4 now. There, it got it. Now it got LA Face's donation right there. Skip signature verification. Okay, I can get that in there. It is a little bit of Signal R. Yes, indeed. Here's the thing. Right? It is working on issue number 2. So some of these things I couldn't adjust until we were actually going to town with this. And it's done. But it's going to go back and do another one. Where was it? Bottom 250. Let's move you up to like... No! Something like that. Is it doing another one? Creating GitHub issue, successfully processed donation. So it's... Here we go. Processing chaos issue number 1. And we should see it push and show up right here. Right? That's the Signal R connection right there. We'll see. So, this is good. Finally, a real test of this. Code medic. So here's the issues. Change a method name to a pun. Insert goofy placeholder test. Oh, I do have tests in this project. Chaos Monkey is processing the task. Yeah, it successfully executed Chaos, marking issue number 1 as completed. Then it's going to go and do the next one. See? There it is. So this one I'll leave in there. There we go. That's better. Yes. So I should be able to see exactly what it did over here. Yeah. So if we look at this, oh no, what did it change? Like, I thought it actually wrote some of the things that it did into the issue that it closed. Yeah, there it is. Chaos Command Executor. That's the wrong project. That's this project. Yeah. I thought I changed where it was executing. And then over here, yeah, it should be in D Code Medic, where it's executing. Goofy placeholder test. Oh man. Well, it's not in the right folder. Before this gets a little bit too carried away, put that up. Map tiltify end puns, really? I'm gonna roll that back, yes. There's one of the effects of that right there. That was the change that I made, but yes, we'll change you back to points. Yeah. Chaos Executor Service, yeah. And there's our goofy placeholder test. I'll leave that one in there. But it's looking at the wrong folder. Hang on. Yeah, Chaos Monkey repository path. Chaos Monkey repository path. Oh, look at you right there. Yeah, I'm deleting you, which is going to restart things. And then what I should be able to do, I should see that they were. Is it working on this one? Okay, let me go back here. Go to the closed ones. I'm going to grab the real one that we had, which was this one. Oh no. Was it? Where was it? This one. So is it actually working? Okay, this one is not working right now. So turn that off, turn it back on. And now this should go and make a change in CodeMedic. Okay. No such agent, Chaos Monkey. Because it's not in the... Okay. Hang on. I know what that is. So, this John right here. Copy that. Over here into CodeMedic. I don't like that I have to bring my agent with me into this. Whatever. We'll tune and figure that out a little bit more. One more label change. Yep. Executing the PowerShell command. Fantastic. There it goes. And we should get a log here of what it did. Oh my, right? This is... I think this is funny and fun looking. What do you think? So... Right, and this is a public repository. So you'll be able to see these things that it does. I'm going to leave that. Because why not? Close out of that one. Issue completed. Editing selected unit tests to rename one method to a pun and add a Chaos Monkey element. It says it did it. So Is it? Identify target paths from args. Given empty array when called, then returns current directory. Home is where the heart is. Rename this test to be punny. Donation. I will leave that in there. And now we know the Chaos Monkey works with the project. Thank you. Looks like a bouncing teddy bear. I do like having a little cheeky monkey there. We can figure out an update and do a better image of a active monkey there. If we can find like an animated GIF of a monkey doing something with a tool, with a stick, with a rock, I wouldn't have a problem bringing that in and using that animation here. So thank you again for the donation. All donations, you have the option to activate. I should have it return the reward that says activate the Chaos Monkey and detect that. I'll do that edit afterwards. Right. Update Chaos Monkey to detect. Activate the Chaos Monkey redemption and act on that. Yeah. Also, don't require the agent to be copied into the destination project. Can we do a queue and report for the donor without GitHub? Without a GitHub issue. I think there's a way we can improve that. All right, moving on. Back to something very serious. Very, very serious. Very serious. Patty Boy with a GIF. Now that's not right. That's not right. No. Gosh. I have to pick the monkey that's digging for gold. Digging for coal, more like it. So what did Copilot do while we were breaking things? Added an iFramework detector interface. Defines the contract. Framework feature. You come over here so I can see you. Framework feature detector engine with a list of detectors. We're going to start off with a web framework detector, data access, authentication, cloud services, logging, and testing framework detectors. Okay. Makes it easy to extend by just creating another one. Single responsibility. Private read-only. Okay. Makes it testable then. It's organized. Next steps to add more detectors. Hey, I like those next steps. That's really great there. I don't know. Let me run the jam that you built there for me. See what we get. Patty Boy with me. Dear Lord. There we go. Testing frameworks 2 detected. Not bad. Right? So there's all the packages. Not bad. Add some unit tests. for this feature. Yeah, go create some unit tests for me. Wow, lots of people streaming. Wow, 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 wow. What? Okay. Go build those things, and then we're going to keep all this and push it out, and we can think about, we can look at kind of confirming, nailing down that we have some of these bomb features built, and I don't want to snap a release just yet. Because I also want to test the output in Markdown format. You wrote some tests? Yeah? $138 tests now. Go ahead. $35 tests. Looks good so far. Yeah, I need to bring that up. That's right, solid techniques. They're a big thing. They're important. Fantastic. Let's update the bomb feature doc. Right, which is to indicate what features were just completed and report on the additional features suggested. Go do that. We'll commit and push all this out and make it happen. Now, I should set up a pull request. Like, I can do that. Yeah, one open pull request. Really? Is it this one? Cool. All right. This one. Edited. What did you put in here? Back up just a smidge. Project configuration analysis. 6 framework detector categories, 45 plus specific features documented by category, 35 unit tests, extensible architecture with the plugin pattern, additional features to implement, background processing, serialization, HTTP clients, caching, real-time messaging. It'd be nice if we had some Aspire reporting in there. Not bad. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's a lot of stuff. I'm going to stage everything, but I'm going to pull back out the Chaos Monkey agent. Like, go put everything else in there. right? Push that out, and if I go and run the test now, like, I don't even remember what the test was that it built. I'm just going to leave it out there. The test it renamed. Right. Command line argument extension tests. Identify, this is identify target. Path from args, give an empty array. Home is where the heart is. Yeah. Close all these things over here. Yeah, you too. Close all the other stuff. Okay. Let's do a merge. Well, that's building right now. Where'd it go? Yeah, this one. It's building on Windows still. All right. All right. And merged. Let's go over to main. Feature bomb phase 1. Pull in the upstream. Fantastic. I want to do this as single file. I forget the argument. Build this project as a single file exe that I can move around the file system. Actually, we should update this. So update the project here so that it, in release mode, delivers a single file. And there was a question about delivering something that was ahead of time compiled. That's a great idea as well. Yes. Like, when we do a release, we should publish a single file that is AOT compiled for different operating systems and processors then for that point. Yeah. No premium requests used. All right, so let's do this. Split the right. And let's copy over D code medic. There it is. Publish Win64. Yeah, copy that here. How you doing there, Mana? What tool am I building? So we're building a little tool that's going to help us analyze .NET code and projects and give some insight into what's going on with those. So I should be able to run Code Medic right here and do a health check if it was actually here. What do you mean I can't? It's right there. There we go. And there's our first report from the Chaos Monkey. App host builds an exe. There's the website that is a library. Now, that's a website. That shouldn't say library. That should say web application. Service defaults, that's a library. Project's missing documentation. Yeah. No known vulnerabilities detected. Okay. So let's try the bill of materials feature. How you doing, PC nerd? Getting on the map. There we go. In Pueblo, Colorado. Right there.
Google's Gemini sees images and text.
It does.
I see into the very essence of your programming inadequacies.
Ow.
Vision has many forms.
It does, and you wound me there. Have I tried using the new ChatGPT 5.2 in Copilot yet? I have not. Do I have access to it? I should have access to it. There it is, right there. We can give that a try. Let's go back over here. What did we get reported for us? So I ran the bill of materials for the Chaos Monkey. 87 unique packages, 2 direct dependencies, 85 transitive dependencies, 69 packages with updates. Oh boy. That's a problem. That's a problem. There's the open telemetry. Poly 864 is in app host, but Poly 842 is in service defaults. Like, that misalignment, that's something I want to be reported. And yeah, there is a 10.01 version. Aspire App Host SDK, Microsoft.NET SDK, Web Framework Features, gRPC. And health checks. Open telemetry, monitoring and logging setup. Okay, this is getting interesting here. Let's try outputting this as markdown format. Right? Is it? I forget. Format. Yeah, let's just do bombmd. As someone who avoids the command line as much as possible, this looks really cool. That's what I'm thinking too, PC nerd. This whole text UI revolution that's happening, like, let's lean into this a little bit and have some fun with it. Hey, G-Bone, how you doing? All right. So I should be able to grow into here. There we go. Close that. Close you. Give me the little markdown preview. Scan time, root path, summary. It still cuts these off. Like, is it actually cutting them off, or is that just a rendering artifact? Like, if I zoom out, right? No, they're cut off. Well, that's a problem. We'll continue here. Look at all those. Okay. License change warnings. Ooh. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Framework and platform features. Web framework features. Okay. We're getting somewhere. This is starting to get interesting, right? Couple things we need to fix. Clearly, right? Like, we need to do something about these ones. Like, let's grab a snapshot of these. I think you're right, Patty boy. We've gotten somewhere where we're approaching the useful, the very useful peak that we're looking for. We're headed up that mountain of, okay, there's some interesting information here. Let me see if we can get Copilot to clean up this formatting a little bit. That's in the bomb analysis. Yeah, and I don't know. You figure it out. I don't want to think about this. You just figure that thing out. I'm going to include you. The names of the packages in the output, both console and markdown, are cut short. For a good report, we need to know the full name of those packages. Here's a snapshot of the output report. Suggest a few ways we can improve this. There you go. Maybe provide a length of string after which to wrap the text. That's one direction. Part of me was thinking, if there's a couple of entries that have the same, and we're doing this with GPT-5.2, we're giving that one a try. If there's a couple of entries that have a similar trunk part of the name, shorten that on successive lines. Like Microsoft ASP.NET Core dot next line MVC. Next line, and it's tabbed over a little bit. gRPC, whatever it might be. So let's, all right, what do we got here? Remove truncation entirely. That's the recommended solution. Stop using and emit full package name and don't truncate license. Spectre console will wrap long cells by default, and Markdown will still contain the full text. Keep full names but make the console tables easier to read. You can configure the Spectre table to use available width and let the package column wrap while keeping short columns non-wrapping. Alternative table for readability, move used into a separate section, list per package. Keep the table focused. Let's implement options 1 and 2. Go. Hey, Numsy Musin, hello. Good to see you. What do we got here? Okay. No. All right, investigating column wrapping settings. Look at this, doing a little bit of planning, a little bit of thinking. Gotta like that. And I also want to dial in here that idea of when you publish as a single file. And we need to do some AOT, building and output and delivery. Yeah. Uh-oh. This is pretty cool how it's running through these things. Got the last terminal command? Yeah. I think we're going to wrap up a little bit of this coding here when we get on the other side of these one or two issues. How you doing there, Mr. W? Hello, right, Mr. W? Fantastic. Remove truncation. Okay. So let's go back over here. Up on this one. Oh, you're not going to show me the... You're not going to show me the command you used? Right there. .NET publish. Give me that, John. Am I in? Yeah, I am. I don't need to pass in the full location because it's... No, I do. Run it. And then down here, let me copy it back in. Yeah. Run it again. I'm not going to do the format. Just run it into... Frank! Hey, Frank. Hello. Welcome in, Raiders. Here comes the raid train. Yeah. Thank you for the shout out. Hello. It's good to see you, Raiders. My name is Jeff Fritz, and we're writing a little code here, building a tool that I'm calling CodeMedic, that is going to help us detect issues, manage our projects, our .NET projects, right here at the command line. So, how's it going, Frank? What were you working on over there on your stream? Let us know. Yes, and we are raising money this month for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. There's a number of different rewards and things that you can do in there. You can see our friend Ellieface redeemed and made a donation for a new toy for the hospital play areas, and also activated the Chaos Monkey that came through and made some changes, not harmful changes, but made some funny changes to our app. So that's what's going on there. Welcome in, friends. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. That still doesn't look quite right in the output there. Let me try with the markdown format. See how we do. Package restore completed, yeah. Let's see what we got in the file now. No. I'm still getting truncated. Yeah, that didn't do anything. So my problem that I'm trying to deal with here is it's truncating the names of the projects that we're outputting here. And I don't mind that as much in the console renderer. Let me see here. Okay, so it's not truncating. Right, let's look at the changes it is making here. It is truncating the license if it's too long. The licenses aren't too bad. Have a good one, Patty Boy. Thank you so much. Pushed a new version of Note Bookmark, a tool that you use to help find a post to read using AI. Nice. Nice. Congratulations. Always great to push new versions. Yeah, that should have... Let's try... Oh no. Yeah. Well, no, bring it down this way. And, all right, so let's do... .NET Run project source CodeMedic bomb. Give me some help on that for a second. Like, there's a way to specify a root folder on this. Yeah, path. Code Chaos Monkey. Yeah, just do that for right now. See what we get. I feel like maybe we should put the title of the repository sought up top here on the console output. There we go. Now we're getting wrapping. Now we're getting wrapping. That's good. Excuse me. Okay. There was one of these where, yeah, Polly right there. Why not line break? Where do you line break? Yep, using Spectre. Okay. Back over here. Let's add the name of the folder that we're working on to the title. Is it? It is there. Okay. It's in the markdown, that's fine. Okay. Now, what else was I saying? Okay, we should do this, that, and the other. I should report. Well, isn't that more on the health project? On the health plugin? Run this again, right? Because there's a mismatch on a couple of the packages. I thought there was a package mismatch. Give me another one here. Do we have a feature that reports mismatch package versions between projects in the repository? Question mark. Yeah, Friday. Absolutely. Yeah, version drift mismatch. See if we can identify some of that. Health report already detects and reports package version mismatches. Okay. It's surfaced by the health command registered there. Okay. I don't see this being reported when there are mismatches in transitive dependencies. Period. Inspect and take a look. I should have told it, run it against the Chaos Code Monkey and see if it reports it. The Code Chaos Monkey. See what it finds searching through. And then I should wrap up after this because I am burning down. Yeah. Like I just did this whole diatribe about burnout. Yeah, I'll end here in a little bit, grab some lunch, and then I'll record summary video for... I didn't do one for Tuesday, but I'll record a summary video for what we've accomplished with the Bill of Materials feature and get that added into the YouTube playlist. Good, go. I should probably then put this into a chore branch or a fix branch and push that out. Oh, I'm doing this in Ask. Keep going. I turned you into agent mode. Yeah. You've hit your limit for productivity today? I totally feel that. You know what? We need a website for CodeMedic at some point here. I have the domain name. We could probably stand it up just on GitHub for right now. But we're going to need a website. Going to town now, that GPT-5. Thinking and planning, planning and thinking. I don't know if we go all the way to a Azure static website, Nalian, but I think doing just a GitHub static website, right? Set it up in like the docs folder or something like that, right? Or on a, what is it, a web GH Pages branch. And push it in there. Something like that. Right? I don't think we need to go all the way to Azure Static. You already did your site for the week? Ah, there you go, G-Bone. Mm-hmm. Hmm. You added a completely different method. Why are you doing a for each? Like, couldn't you just do a link select against the package dependencies? Right? Yeah, look at... Can't we just replace this with a link group by statement that returns packages where there are more than one version? That returns packages grouped by name. Right? Like, that'll dramatically simplify that. And because we're using link, the new parallel logic and computing that's being done there will mean that runs extremely fast. Instead of doing a for each with two for eaches inside of them and running into this just nasty loop. Right? It doesn't even question it. It just says, I'll refactor it. Oh, let me do that for you, boss. Here we go. I'm gonna do the thing. Righto. Good simplification. Still keeps the per project. Versions detailed to a link pipeline. Yeah. All right. So now back over to Code Chaos Monkey. Let's see how it gets. And then I think we can wrap up for the day here. So there's my health report. Align package versions across projects to avoid restore runtime drift. Poly core in app host, it's 864, it's 842, and over here in 842 there. Nice. We got it. Let's, what do we have? Let's just say package reporting. I don't know. It's the name of a branch, right? Like, whatever. I'm not going to include the bill of materials or the agent markdown, but I will include the changes to these other ones. Yeah. Push that out, set up the merge. Oh, I also wanted to do let's see if it can do it real quick here. Go to the CS Proj for this. Yeah. No, where is it? When we publish a release version of the application, I would like it to generate a single executable file that we can deliver to various platforms. There's a syntax to that. To make release publishes produce single file. Here we go. Allow publishing per platform single file executables. So if the configuration is release, publish single file true, self-contained true, include native libraries for self-extract, enable compression in single file. Nice! Validating with the .NET published. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. So it's doing a... oops. It's down here on the terminal right there. It took 17 seconds to do that. And it is 38 meg. Yes, please. I'd like just the exe for release. Then maybe we can put it into our release continuous integration so that it generates the EXEs and we can attach them to the release. Now, one of the next things that I have out here for us to do is to enable an MCP feature inside of CodeMedic so that you can tell Copilot to use CodeMedic to analyze the project you're currently working on. Do I also want this when we build and release? No, I'm okay with that. I want to look in action now. Right up here. Workflows, that's what it is. I'd like to add another action. Similar to the Docker publish that will generate the AXEs when a release happens on GitHub and attach those EXEs to the release. Let's also update the Docker publish to attach the container image to the release. So, yeah, that would be sweet, right? Now, is it... These should be AOT. That's just publishing single file. I need to do AOT in here also. Hang on. I forgot to mention. I'd like these published. I'd like published versions of the EXEs to be AOT compiled. That should reduce them even further than that 30-some meg. So that we're not carrying around libraries and things. Get thinking there, GPT. I've never done this type of thing before because I'm not really a console development kind of guy. That's not my development gimmick. So this is a learning a little bit for me here as well. Adding a new release workflow for native AOT library binaries. Updating the Docker release workflow as a release asset. Yes, I like that. So what did you update in here in Docker publish? Let's look at that while it's doing the other gimmicks in here. Contents write on Ubuntu latest. Okay. ID of this is the build step. Okay. Create release image reference. If GitHub event name equals release in bash, code meta container image release repository image, digest tags, put that into container image text, attach image reference to release. Okay. I don't know if that works. Sure sounds good.
I observed someone mentioned GitHub Copilot.
Did they?
Excellent tool for code completion. I, however, specialize in behavioral analysis and psychological evaluation.
You sound like Hal sometimes.
Look, Fritz, I can see you're really upset about this. I honestly think you ought to sit down calmly, take a stress pill, and think things over.
Publish AOT equals true. Wow. Failing due to trimming and AOT analyzers, reflection-based loading, system text JSON. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. We can YOLO this, John. Right?
At Sharpfritz, I prepared a special reward for your exceptional display of incompetence.
Wait a second.
It's
I thought we did pretty good.
Just
good,
kidding.
Kink.
It's more disappointment.
Okay. All right. Do folks even get the GLaDOS references? Chat, do you? Right? We get the GLaDOS references, don't we? So it patched these to be a little bit more AOT code friendly. Okay. Sure. Generate and attach checksums. Like, that's kind of cool. Publishing the artifacts. And then uploading them. There's generating the checksums. And uploading them. Cool. All right. That, I think, feels pretty good. What's the relative size of building for AOT on this machine versus just a single file? Oh. Yes. Add that script and print, run both and publish. Yes. Right?
There's a crack in the wall of your architecture.
No, there isn't.
Not metaphorical. Actual structural problems.
Ooh. There we go. Bench publish. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's going to take a little bit longer, but that's okay. Right? The AOT compile is something I'm not going to do all the time. And it still failed. No. I'm going to need to fix that. For now. Let's pull request that in. Did I publish? Yeah. Fix package reporting. What? It wasn't published. There we go. I'm not going to merge that in just yet. Because it needs that last little bit to fix AOT building. But for now, I need to call it a day. I am winding down. I am feeling it here, friends. And man, has it been a day. No, not that one. We want to be over here. We got the Chaos Code Monkey running, the Code Chaos Monkey, Chaos Code Monkey, Code Chaos Monkey, Code Chaos Monkey running, and it made our first set of changes inside the code we're working on. You make a donation of $5 or more, and you can opt to have, while we're on stream, you can opt to have the Code Monkey go in and apply a funny change to our code we're working on. Oh, you go ahead, take a look at the hat. We've hit a number of goals here. I'm going to have announcements early next week with dates of some of our milestone streams that we've landed.
Complete. Guinness Harp Hat has been identified with high confidence.
That's right. So, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for being part of the St. Jude fundraiser here. That means a lot to me. Let me see who else is streaming, who else I can get you connected to that's doing something fun on Twitch that we can enjoy rating and catching up with. Looking around the horn. What do we got? You know what? Lana's talking about the Game Awards. Let's go right over to Lana. Huge thanks to everybody. Once again, really appreciate you joining the stream. I will see you on Monday, right back here. We're gonna do some more coding. We're gonna have some more chaos. We're gonna be raising money for St. Jude. All right. Have a fantastic weekend wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.